Hey, it's Ajah. Today I want to tell y'all how I learned Korean. Nobody asked for this video. I'm just making it because I feel like even if no one asked, people might want to know. Just to let y'all know, I'm not fluent in Korean now, but I know enough that I can hold conversations. The other day, I was able to have a conversation with Koreans who don't speak English about Donald Trump. Maybe I'll tell that story one day. I have officially made it to the threshold of where I can just barely start talking about politics in Korean. I'm gonna start at the beginning. At first, I tried to teach myself Korean. I was teaching myself Korean during a one-year break that I took from college from summer 2012 to summer 2013. I learned Hangul, which is the Korean alphabet, through YouTube. Like literally just watching YouTube videos. Some people learn Hangul without videos, but I recommend using videos or something where you can hear it, because a lot of the time when people try to write like what each letter sounds like, you're gonna pronounce it wrong by just reading. You have to hear it. You have to hear the difference between s and th. Like, you just have to hear it. And so I taught myself Hangul. That was really easy, in my opinion. Maybe not for everyone, but I learned it in like 2-3 days, like an hour every day. It was really easy. It's pretty straightforward. But then after that, actually learning words took a little bit more time. I never quite made it to sentences teaching myself. And the learning tool I was using at the time was Rosetta Stone paired with Pimsleur, because Pimsleur is like all audio, like you can just hear it. Rosetta Stone puts some like images to the words. There'll be a picture of somebody running and then the word 달려요. And you just have to associate 달려요 with running, not with like the English translation for the word running. So I really like Rosetta Stone for that. But after that 1 year off was over, I started at UT. So I started at UT fall 2013. That's when I actually started like learning formally in a classroom setting. The textbook we used in that classroom is called Integrated Korean Beginner 1, and I think it's a really good textbook, but I do feel like I needed the actual instructor in order to understand the textbook, and it comes with a workbook as well. I don't think I would have been able to accomplish like learning everything in that textbook without an instructor. So if you are gonna go the textbook route, I recommend you take a class, like an actual class, which is easier said than done because I know not every school offers Korean classes. The reason I went to UT is because they're one of like, I think 3 universities that teach Korean in Texas. Another one of them is like UT Arlington, so it's still a branch of UT. So for 1 full year, I was just taking Korean classes in a structured setting in a classroom. Fall 2014, I went to study abroad. I studied in Korea, in Seoul, at a university called Hanyang University. And there, they have a integrated like immersion language program. Me taking 1 semester of this language program was 13 credits. It's the same as taking full-time, you know, like if I would have signed up for 4 other classes. But I didn't do that. I signed up for just language. And I feel like I would have grown a lot in that class if I was better at taking tests, because they do give you a test at the very beginning to see what your current level is. There's level 1 to 6, but it's like 1, 1.5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how they leveled it. I'm not sure why. I think level 1 teaches you Hangul over again, and if you test into 1.5, you get to skip Hangul, but it's still all the basic beginner stuff. And unfortunately, I tested into level 1.5, so I didn't learn that much that semester. It was mostly review. The reason I say that I would have learned a lot if I was better at taking tests is because it's 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. And the professors, the instructors do not speak English to you. They will only speak to you in Korean. Very simple, slow, enunciated Korean, and they'll gesture towards things. They'll make it as clear to you as possible without using English. I think that's the way language should be taught, because then instead of translating everything in your head back into English before you use it, you're like, 가방. This is a 가방. 이거 가방이야. I just said bag. This is a bag. That's how we're learning. So I really liked that course, even though I didn't learn that much. Like I said, it was mostly review for me, but I had an excellent teacher. She was really, really nice and really good with us. Then, unfortunately, afterwards, I took a semester off from language learning because I had a lot more credits I needed to put together to graduate, and so I took a semester off from language. And by a semester, I kind of mean 2 semesters, because I took off spring and I went to classes in the summer, but no language classes. So then fall 2015 was my last semester of university, and I resumed taking language courses then. Same textbook line, but the thing is that my professor this time didn't just use the textbook. She used a lot of outside sources. She played some videos from dramas and got us to understand language through other means than just doing bookwork constantly, which I thought was really great. I totally recommend, if you get to this level, a good way to study Korean is to watch Korean dramas. Try to watch them without subtitles. At first, your mind is boggled and you're like, how can I understand this without subtitles? But you probably can. They're pretty dramatic, if somebody says something, 우리 아빠가 죽었어. My dad died. And then the next person says, 진짜? Then you know that means, really? You can tell just by intonation and exaggeration. You'll be able to figure out a lot of new words just by watching TV, basically. If you don't care for Korean dramas, I totally understand. You don't have to do that, but for me it was helpful. And so my final semester, the way I was studying Korean was a combination of the class, watching Korean dramas, and one more element I added, which is I started going to this organization, I guess you could call it, a group function thing called Korean Table. It's where you go to this one table where there's a bunch of students, UT students, who are taking Korean classes, who want to improve their Korean, combined with some exchange students and other Korean people who want to help you learn Korean. And you sit there together and you try to speak as much Korean as possible, and you try to understand each other as much as possible. Some of us were better at this than others, okay? I was not good at this. As soon as I would get a word I didn't understand, I defaulted into English, and it happened a lot. And it's still a problem I need to work on. Instead of automatically saying things in English because I couldn't figure out the right exact word to say it in Korean, you just gotta kind of work your way around and figure out another way to say things. For example, I do not know how to say Donald Trump is the scum of the earth, but I know how to say 도널드 트럼프가 나쁜 사람이야. Donald Trump is a bad person. It doesn't exactly convey exactly what I mean or what I wanted to say, but it got the point across. You know, that's what you gotta do. So these days, I'm graduated, I'm working in Korea. I'm actually presently in the teacher's office. Today, all the other teachers in my office went to go play volleyball. This sounds really weird, but anyways, they're not here right now. So that's why I'm making this video from the office by myself. Point is, now what I'm doing is study Korean. Number one is that I still use Rosetta Stone, or I use Rosetta Stone again. And the reason why, well, I already explained, like, I really like their method of teaching you vocabulary, teaching you sentence structure, all of that without using any English. That's my favorite way to learn Korean, to learn any language, I think, from now on. Because once you get stuck on translating everything back and forth, yeah, you're gonna be really confused. And you're gonna feel like you don't know how to say anything you wanna say because you don't have the exact vocabulary for that sentence. It's not helpful to you. Another thing that I still have textbooks in my level from the integrated Korean series, but I don't use them anymore. I want to use them, but I just don't seem to have the motivation now that I'm not being graded on it. I do need to learn a few more grammar points. I need to learn a lot more vocabulary, and I feel like Rosetta Stone is pretty good at teaching me that. Another way, I'm still watching Korean dramas or Korean movies. That helps me. Korean rap helps me work on listening. Now, a lot of the times they go just way entirely too fast, and there is no way I learn anything, like I don't know what they're saying. But sometimes they're just going kind of sort of fast, and I can kind of figure out, oh, that's a word I know, and that's a word I know, and that's a word I know, and when I've listened to the song 3 times, I know what the song is about. I like that. I mean, maybe it doesn't sound like a great accomplishment because maybe most people can figure out what the song is about on the first listen, but I feel accomplished. And the number one thing that's helping me to really improve my Korean these days is just to use it at every chance that I get, because at first I was really shy. I felt really stupid. I'm gonna make mistakes and people are gonna laugh at me. Even if they're not gonna laugh at me, I'm gonna make mistakes and not get my point across. People aren't gonna understand me. Well, you know what? If I'm talking to a Korean person in English, they're not gonna understand me any better than if I talk to them in my broken Korean. But they might be more open to trying to understand me if I talk to them in my broken Korean. You know, it can be as simple as, how are you today? 오늘 기분이 어때요? 오늘 잘 지냈어요? 오늘 어때요? I actually said one of those sentences wrong, but I know that. I know that, and that's what's important. No, actually, what's important is trying. If you don't try, then you can't fail or succeed. Most people here are just happy that you tried. And the thing is, I'm in Korea. I'm not in an English-speaking place. So, if I speak English to someone, they have to struggle to understand me. If I speak broken Korean to someone, they still have to struggle to understand me, but they're gonna be a lot more open-minded about it. So, thank you for watching. I hope that you will give me a thumbs up, a like. If you push the subscribe button, that'd be really cool because, you know, it makes me want to make more videos. And if you comment, that'd be even better because then I'll know what you want to see in the next video. I welcome any and all comments. I try to respond to every single comment, unless you say something perverted like someone did in the last video. And I'm just gonna flag your comment and bother more. So, thank you for watching.